Can we get enough calcium from a plant-based diet? The following information has been gleaned from several sources. Not everyone agrees, so I'd recommend you do your homework. We've cited all the sources on our website, which is e2se.org. The RDA, or Recommended Daily Allowance for Calcium, is different in most Western countries. It's anywhere from 700 to 1,200 milligrams per person per day. The body seems to need about 550, and in many cultures, people live healthy lives on 300 to 350. In order to make this all work, you also need vitamin A and vitamin D and physical exercise. Many sources also recommend you need magnesium. Western people typically eat and drink a lot of meat and dairy products. Milk is the one you hear most about, but it may not be your best source. A lot of acid is released in your system when it's breaking down the proteins in milk. It's then neutralized by calcium. In the end, it's all flushed out. So, unless you have a lot of calcium hanging out in your bloodstream, the net result is usually a loss of calcium. Calcium absorption is difficult when there's too much protein, too much caffeine, and too much salt. So, where do people who eat plant-based diets get their calcium? From the same places plant-eating animals like cows, elephants, and hippopotamuses do, from green plants. Leafy greens, dried beans, and cruciferous plants like broccoli and cauliflower have a lot of calcium. So do nuts and seeds and dried fruit. Tofu and soy products are also a good source if processed with calcium, and they usually are. Basically, relying on meat and dairy products for your calcium is inefficient and may lead to a calcium deficiency. Your body is engineered to absorb plant-based calcium. Here at E2SE, we'll show you how a well-balanced plant-based diet can supply your calcium needs. For breakfast this morning, I'll show you how to make fruit compote and banana blueberry walnut muffins.
For the compote, we'll be using dried fruit. This is 2/3 cup of dried apricots. They're not the bright orange you're used to because they don't contain sulfur dioxide, which is a known toxin. This is 1/3 cup of dried prunes, 1/3 cup of yellow raisins, 1/3 cup of tart cherries, 1/3 cup of cranberries, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. Lemon zest is the rind of a lemon. Make sure it's organic.
I need to rehydrate all this fruit, so I'm going to just dump it in this bowl, cover it with enough hot water so that all the fruit is covered, and let that soak for about 10 to 15 minutes.
For the muffins, you'll need 1/2 cup of walnuts, 1 cup of blueberries, 3 ripe bananas, 1/2 cup of oil, 1 teaspoon of lime or lemon juice, 1 cup of almond rice or soy milk, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of whole wheat flour and 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour. While you're preparing the batter, preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Mix the dry ingredients and set them aside. Add the lime juice to the almond milk and peel all the bananas and mash them. Add the almond milk and the oil and then stir in the dry ingredients. Add the blueberries and the walnuts and fold in gently. Spoon into your muffin tin. The cups will be very full. Bake for 30 to 35 minutes. Meanwhile, add the lemon juice and zest to your rehydrated fruit. Place everything into a saucepan, bring to boil, and simmer for about 20 minutes.
For lunch today, we're going to have a green salad with nuts and baba ganoush.
The main ingredient of baba ganoush is eggplant. Use either one very large eggplant or two smaller ones. To cut down on the baking time, cut them in half and place them face down on a baking sheet. Bake at 375 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes or until the eggplant is very soft.
The ingredients for the baba ganoush are, of course, the eggplant. We'll use 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of tahini, a half a teaspoon of cumin, 2 pressed garlic cloves, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Top the salad with 1/3 cup of a combination of sunflower, pumpkin, almond, and Brazil nuts. Dress with a goddess-like dressing. And serve with your baba ganoush and nut or whole grain crackers.
For dinner tonight, we're going to make lasagna with some steamed green vegetables.
For the lasagna, we'll be using 1 box of brown rice noodles. These will be uncooked. 1 pound of crumbled tofu, 1/2 cup of soy and rice Parmesan cheese, 1 pound of grated soy cheese, and this is mozzarella flavor, 1 28-ounce jar of pasta sauce, and 5 ounces of fresh spinach. Bake at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Steam 1 cup of broccoli and 1 cup of carrots with 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning for 5 to 7 minutes.